So you've just watched your favourite YouTuber or read that article by your favourite blogger and decided to pull the trigger on a brand new watch that will finally complete your collection. Okay, well, maybe not complete it, but at least sate your curiosity and bank balance for a few months afterwards. Logging into your online bank, you find out that your savings is just a little shy of full retail price, and you've also realised that you're not quite the crypto bro you thought you'd be. What do you do now? Well, today I'm going to show you how to buy properly, safely, and be happy with your purchase on the second-hand market. Just a disclaimer before we begin, these 8 steps will help you buying a watch. However, you need to be mindful and do your own research, especially when you are departing with large amounts of cash. Okay, so step 1, you've already ID'd the watch you want, so now it's time to search the web for it. I'm talking eBay, Chrono24, Watchfinder, and any other second-hand watch dealer. Also, don't forget to look at mainstream dealers such as Watches of Switzerland, Dura Watches, and Francis & Gay if you're in the UK. You also look for ex-display models and trade-in models there. These tend to be more expensive, but you have the added security of an authorised dealer selling and guaranteeing these watches. Once you've done all of that, build a shortlist, and if you have primarily used eBay, make sure that you check the store or the private seller. Check their feedback, selling history, and any other items that they have listed. Are they a business? Are they an individual? Remember, you need to buy the seller before you buy the product. In the past, I've paid more for items because I've trusted one seller more than another. If you are a serious buyer, then don't forget to ask questions. After all, you are spending a large amount of money and you need to be happy with your choice. Great questions to ask would be, have you owned this watch from new? What does it come with, i.e. box, papers, receipts, or a full set? Is this going to be going through eBay's authenticity program? What condition is it in? And can you send me some additional pictures, i.e. caseback, etc.? The last question is really important if you are not sure or the pictures are poorly taken. If they refuse to answer these questions or are overly vague, then we may have a problem. If they send you pictures as an extra security measure, don't be afraid to take it to an expert locally and get a second opinion. Another important question to ask would be if the watch is older than 5 years, is service history, and if it needs a service, is that reflected in the price? This leads me nicely into the next point, which is always research and understand what is involved in the site's authenticity process. Understand the steps taken by the seller or intermediary to prove this is the genuine article. Do not buy straight away. Patience is a virtue, and use what I call the 24-hour rule. I do this with almost all big purchases, and I come to a decision of usually 2 or 3 sellers I have in mind, and I sleep on it. 24 hours allows you the time to look at it objectively and make sure that it's something you actually want and it's not a flight of fancy. You can also make sure that you can actually afford it in the meantime, and you're not forgetting anything else that a lump of cash might be useful for in the future. Also, you may get a seller offer if you wait a little. Once you've done all of that and you have the knowledge you need, don't be afraid to haggle. This can help you get the most out of your money and will allow you to put your knowledge of the seller into good use. Things to think about from this perspective is, how long have they been trying to sell this item? Months, weeks, or days? Are they desperate to get rid of it, or is it a reluctant sell? What is the condition of the watch, and does the watch come with anything else, i.e. box, papers, but not just that, straps as well. If you can, always buy on platform, as it affords you buyer protection and the intermediary will step in if you have any disputes on your purchase. If you can't buy on platform and you have to buy in person, then just make sure that you're meeting somebody, if you have a lot of cash on hand, in a public place so that you can stay safe. Somewhere like a cafe is ideal for this. However, if you have to meet someone in private, make sure that you bring someone with you for extra protection. But never ever transfer money off platform without seeing the watch first. Finally, this last one could be seen as a little bit of overkill, but it is well worth doing if you've spent a large amount of cash on a watch. Once you get the item and you've checked it over yourself, don't be afraid to bring it to an expert to authenticate in person. This will add an extra level of assurance to any buyer. My wife is a wizard when it comes to all things vintage. She understands everything from makeup to clothing and, you've guessed, even watches. Over the years, I've picked up a few pointers from her, and broadly speaking, the same due diligence applies when buying vintage. However, I have added 3 additional tips in terms of buying or going vintage. Number 1, know your brands. A lot of brands died during the quartz crisis, and so many good watches are criminally overrated, undervalued in today because their significance is lost to history. Secondly, know your time periods. Make sure you understand the decade that interests you the most. Are you looking for a 1970s integrated watch, trench watches from the 1910s, or Art Deco watches from the 1920s? Know what to expect from each time period and adjust your expectations accordingly. If something looks off from that time period, then just avoid. Finally, try to buy old new stock. This gives you your best chance at buying something in great condition that may be working well. If you found value in the content of this video, then great news. I have a link in the description below to my website where you can download this as a PDF completely free of charge. No money will exchange hands, and there are no mailing lists for you to sign up to. It's just a free document for you to help you with your secondhand purchases and to help you be safe online. Now, I have filtered this through various Reddit groups and Facebook groups. Broadly speaking, everyone agreed with me, but there's always ways in which we can improve the safety of how we buy things online. So if you guys have any additional comments or any additional things that you do when buying secondhand, please leave them in the comments below. I would love to hear from you.